Hey everyone. Oh my God, it's going to be a crazy day, huh? Holy cow. And I do have a friend of mine on standby because I believe the House is voting on it right now. So, hey everyone. What a crazy day, huh? Oh my gosh. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little intimidated today because I know I'm going to get a lot of questions that unfortunately I won't have the answers to. But first, can you guys hear me okay? I had, when I did the video earlier, I felt like my video just didn't turn out too well. So let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. That would be awesome. Ooh, yeah, we're gonna have a lot to go over. Just so you guys know, that bill that they passed was over 5,500 pages, and I didn't start paging through it because there's no way, but I was looking for keywords, specifically like pandemic, emergency unemployment. I was just trying to do like a find search type of thing, to get information. And man, that thing is not easy to read. Thanks, Diane, for letting me know. Just making sure, because like I said, I was having issues earlier. So I was able to find out a couple things. Now, like I said, there's going to be some things that I'm not going to know until we get further clarification. Like my specific situation, I have no idea, but we'll get into all that. So, if it's okay with you guys, before I get into Darnell, meow, thank you. um, and I'll start from the top. But what I will do is go over some things that I believe to be true, which should cover a good amount of the questions that you guys are asking. Again, I'm not going to know until, luckily Pennsylvania does a really good job of giving this information to their claimants. It's just a matter of them receiving it from the government. So, I promise I will get the information if I can't answer your question. In fact, let me get a piece of paper ready, and actually I'll just, let me get a separate document ready because I have a feeling I'm going to have to copy paste a lot. Let's do that. Okay. So just a couple things that I kind of found out, which hopefully will answer some of your questions, is let's see. So if you make less than $100 per week in unemployment, will you get the extra $300? So when I was doing research this morning, it did look like that you would not receive the extra $300 if your unemployment was less than 100. Now I'm not so sure. So that is something that I will definitely find out. I'm sure I can probably find that out tonight. But I just wanted to be clear on that because, like I said, this morning, I thought that I had read. Well, I know I read it, but just want to get clarification on that. So I'll go over just high level bullet points, and then I'll get to your questions or the chat. So, and again, these are in no particular order. As I was finding information out, I just started jotting them down. So PUA, people that are on PUA will now be required to provide income documentation within 21 days. And I believe that is for brand new people going on PUA. However, if you had a claim before January 31st, 2021, you will have to provide this information within 90 days. So if you're new to PUA, you'll have to submit documentation. If you've been on PUA, you will have to do that in the next 90 days. Now, obviously, the question comes up, well, what if I was home because my kid couldn't go to daycare, couldn't go to school? I'm sure that obviously you can't provide documentation if you hadn't been working. So you're not sure of those little details because obviously you could collect PUA even if you weren't self-employed. Like there's 8 other reasons why you could collect PUA, like if you were sick or, if you had COVID or whatever. So I'll try to dig and get more of those answers for you coming up. With this new bill, people can refuse work for good cause. So in the past, typically, when you file for unemployment, you cannot refuse any work. Otherwise, it would disqualify you from receiving unemployment. However, in this bill, I guess it's a employee protection type thing. You have or you can refuse work for good cause. Now, you're probably asking, what does good cause mean? I'm not sure. um, unfortunately, this stuff is so general that basically you're just going to have to make a valid case for why you refused unemployment, or employment. So I just wanted to put that out there in case that affects anyone. So for the stimulus checks, they might be able to garnish child support. At least that's what it looks like from now. However, if you owe either state taxes or federal taxes or any bank debt, they will not garnish your stimulus check. And this one is new to me. So the extended unemployment coverage and benefits for freelancers. So it looks like that if you're self-employed and also have, well, you know what? Let me just read it. But what it's pretty much saying is if you have both wage income as well as self-employment income, you could be eligible for an extra $100 per week in unemployment benefits. So that's interesting. And that's through the PUA. So if you're, receiving a job income and you're a freelancer, you could receive more money. So yeah, sorry I don't have more detail on that. But so yeah, I thought that was interesting. Okay, so as you know, may or may not know, PUA, PEUC will be extended for 11 weeks, or if they pass the bill, of course, disclaimer. So you might be seeing this April 5th date. Like, what the heck does that mean? Because as it is written now, PEUC, PUA expires on March 14th. But they keep talking about April 5th. So what this means is PUA, PEUC will close to new applicants on March 14th, but those people that are relatively new to PUA and PEUC would be able to continue to receive payment for those programs if they haven't reached 50 weeks through April 5th. So if you're brand new on the program, you could get paid until April 5th. So I know that some people were asking questions about that April 5th date. Here's one that really stinks if you have a high school senior or a child in college. If you have a child, for the stimulus checks. So stimulus checks are $600 per person as well as $600 per dependent. However, if you have an adult dependent, and that includes kids that are 17 years old, they will not receive a $600 stimulus check. So I myself have I have a high school senior. He's 17. He won't get a stimulus check, which kind of odd, right? Because he's a senior. He's my dependent. He certainly can't live on his own because he's a full-time student. Anyway, you understand, but I just want to let you guys know that it doesn't look like that there is a max on the amount of kids. So if you have 5 kids, then each of those children would receive a stimulus check, or you would get paid for each of those kids. Which is kind of cool because last time I believe there's a 3-child max. So those were just some notes that I jotted down. Hopefully that answers. And of course, for the stimulus checks, there is that income threshold. So if you make any more than $75,000 or $150,000 per couple, then your stimulus amount would, decrease. Whew. Oh my gosh, it is crazy. Okay. Jack Johnson, hey. Have I exhausted all my unemployment while I have to reapply, or will they update it? You know what? That's a great question. I'm assuming that there will eventually be a cutoff date. Like if you've been receiving unemployment up until a certain point, and you know, maybe it's like November 3rd, then you don't need to apply. However, if, I'm sure they'll probably put a date on it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure yet. Um, sorry, you made me think of something, but yeah, okay. I just want to make sure I went over something. Um, so yeah, we're not sure yet, and who knows? That might be a state by state case too. So unfortunately, I'm not sure, but that's definitely something that I will get clarification on. Joyce, in Illinois, I've exhausted all my UI benefits. Will they automatically enroll me in PEUC? What payment can I expect? So in Pennsylvania, which I'm assuming is probably the same in Illinois, since the PEUC program should be the same nationwide. So they should automatically enroll you in PEUC. In Pennsylvania, we were automatically enrolled 2 days after we exhausted regular unemployment. And the payment should be the same as what you were getting paid for your regular unemployment. So you should pretty much not notice any difference except your weeks have been extended. Lizzie, yeah, no, let's hope it passes. In fact, I should probably have like MSN up in case it does. But I do have a friend of mine hopefully message me whenever it does. It looks like it is going through the House right now. Lizzie says something's better than nothing. Hope Biden does something more generous. Yeah, no, and I think he will. I think he probably won't have it. He's going to have to, right? Because the situation is not getting better. And what's scary is with this new virus in the UK, God forbid if that comes to the United States, right? Then we're going to have to go through all this nonsense all over again. And apparently the virus or the vaccine doesn't prevent the virus from, like, it doesn't kill the virus that's in the UK right now. Oh my gosh, it would just be a nightmare. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that they'll start to look at something, hopefully the beginning of February, if not sooner, considering we only have unemployment till mid-March. Christopher says, GK filing after you exhaust your benefits. Yeah, Christopher, that's a great question. I've been hearing from other people in the chat say, yeah, go for it. The system might stop you since you ran out of weeks, then systematically you may not be able to. However, one of my friends, she lives out in Oregon, and she was saying that her state is specifically telling people to keep on filing in the event that they do pass the bill, then at least they'll have that record. So yeah, if the system lets you, definitely keep on filing. Michael Bryan, hopefully everyone who exhausted their extended benefits will get some kind of extension. Yeah, I'm hoping that after EB, we would then get placed back onto PEUC because we're in that situation. But yeah, again, those are those minute details that I have no patience to read through 6,000 pages. So I apologize, but I will do the best I can. And we may not even know a lot of these answers until the states get the specific details, but we'll figure it all out. Joyce says, I've continued certifying need those extra weeks extension for PEUC. I'm sure I'm echoing this sentiment. Yeah, absolutely, Joyce. And I think you're in a good position because you'll be able to get onto PEUC, and that'll last you for a while. And hopefully the economy and jobs will open back up, and then we'll all be back to work, right? Biggie Bruce, we're not getting the $600. Oh, Biggie, yeah, okay. So you're probably referring to the FPUC payment of $600 that people on unemployment got over the summer. That has been cut in half to $300. So everyone that is collecting any sort of unemployment would be receiving $300 per week, no matter what program they are on. Christopher says Congress is voting now. Senate will be last to vote. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can get everything done tonight. That would be awesome. Latanya says, will the PUA start on December 27th with the $300 pay? That is my impression. Then yes. Yeah, Cat's Me Out. That was your question too. Yeah, except which is great, right? But the only problem is it will take states a couple weeks to implement these changes. So while we'll be approved, we'll get qualified, we'll definitely receive payment. The question is, when will we actually receive the payment? It may not be until the beginning of, maybe like second week in January. And again, I could be totally wrong. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us and have this all coded by next week, right? So I don't want to scare anyone, but at the same time, I just want to put it out there that it might take a couple weeks to actually get the payment. Brenda says, I live in Arizona. I've exhausted my regular UI. I'm on an extension. Now, will I receive the $300? Yes, Brenda, effective December 27th, you should be receiving the extra $300 along with your unemployment. Oh, and Christopher already answered you. Okay, sweet. Thanks, Christopher. Fire pain. Yeah, what if you exhausted all programs? You know what? I'm wondering that myself. I'm not sure. So what if you did the regular unemployment, the PEUC, the extended benefits, and the PUA? What happens if you're totally done? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if... So if you were on like PEUC and PUA, it's like, would you go back to PEUC or would you stay on PUA? And those are the kind of crazy questions that I will definitely find out. But I'm not sure on that. Jean says you shouldn't have to reapply for PUA. It will go in automatically. Yeah, let's hope so, right? But yeah, it would make sense that we wouldn't. It would make sense that we wouldn't have to. But yeah, unless maybe someone, it just wouldn't even make any sense. But of course, they don't like to make things easy. Yeah, Gary says it should be automatically extended since it's Fed. So instead of 39 weeks, you get 50 weeks. Yeah, and that's an easy way to kind of look at the whole PUA situation is instead of you getting 39 weeks, you're now going to get 50 weeks. So yeah, you're right. The fact that you would even have to apply for PUA would just seem silly if they're just extending it. PEUC might be a different situation if you've already exhausted it. So yeah, I'm not sure about the PEUC thing. Does these extra benefits go for all states or just certain ones? Yeah, all of them. And thank you for answering that. My chat just got messed up. Sorry. Gary, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to go through these questions. And, obviously I won't repeat ones that I already answered. Minnie says, I live in Georgia. My POA ran out over a month ago. I've still been certifying each week because someone told me to, even though I'm not getting anything. Will I get the POA extension? I mean, my first answer would be, I would hope so, because actually you should, because it is no longer 39 weeks. It's now 50 weeks. Now, you probably won't get any retro pay, but definitely starting December 27th, you should be eligible, I would think, to start receiving payments after December 27th. BDP 685, hit that like button. Thank you. Hit that like button. Ken from Ohio says, in Ohio, if I'm on federal extension, will I get both my base unemployment plus the extra $300, or will I only get the $300 after 12/26? That's a great question, and I think that's a lot of people have that question. In fact, I know I was confused on that because all we hear is unemployment's been extended and they're going to get $300. Like that's all we hear. So the extra $300 is on top of your state benefit. So maybe for your state benefits you receive $250. 250 plus 300, you would then receive $550 per week. So yeah, it's on top of whatever you're receiving. Mom Scar, are people that were claimed going to receive a stimulus package? So yeah, dependents are going to receive $600. However, if you have adult dependents, 17 years old or older, they will not receive a stimulus check. Michael says, I exhausted my PUA benefits when this is passed. Will I have to wait until the new system, or can the money be added to it soon? Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do a little bit of coding and update the system. So if you try to file like right now, and even if you try to file December 27th, the system may not be ready yet. Hopefully it will in some states. But honestly, I can't imagine, especially with Christmas coming up, right? I mean, my recommendation, and one thing that I learned from all this unemployment thing, is I would log in every single day and try to file, because that's what we were told to do in Pennsylvania, because they were having some glitches and, whatever. And the lady's like, the unemployment lady, she's just like, just log in every day and maybe it'll be a Christmas miracle, right? But yeah, if you need to, so that's what I recommend. But realistically, don't sweat it out if it's not going to accept your filing, just for the reason that they have to update their system. Mom Scar says, I'd really like to know, people that are claimed on someone else's taxes, are they going to receive a second stimulus? I did not receive a first. So yeah, it looks like any adult, it's adult dependent. Yeah, so if it's an adult dependent, then no, they would not receive a stimulus. Tinky, when will we receive stimulus? So yeah, in my earlier video, I said the first week of January. However, it's looking like they might be able to send payments out as early as next week, which is pretty amazing, right? So yeah, if you have direct deposit all set up, you could get paid next week. Hey Charles, how are you? Okay, Brad confirmed. It's a fact you have to make at least $300 or more to receive the extra $300. Thank you, Brad. Because yeah, I didn't obviously want to say the wrong thing. And that's what I thought I read this morning. And then, okay, thank you for clarifying that. If I exhausted my PUC last week, will I get it again? Yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like. So you may not, if you exhausted it last week, meaning yesterday, maybe, there might be a week lapse, depending on when you specifically last applied for it. But yeah, they hopefully should automatically put you back on PEUC. So look at it like this: instead of getting 13 weeks of PEUC, we would then be getting 24 weeks. At least that's what I'm looking at it as, to make life easy. But I guess we won't know the specific details until they roll it out. Marlene says, will overpayment be waived for people on PUA? That I have no idea about overpayments. I think it depends on the state too. So yeah, I'm not sure on that. I apologize. Amos, I know we get the $600 stimulus checks. I know we get the extension plus $300 on top of that. But when are we getting it? Great question. So, like I said, the $600, if you have direct deposit set up, we can get paid next week. If not, then hopefully checks will be sent out the first week in January. And then the $300, you could qualify for it next week when you go to file. However, you may not physically get that money until the systems update, until the states update their systems, which is going to take some time, probably a couple of weeks, or hopefully just like 2 weeks, hopefully. Paradise Beach. Paradise Beach. I love your name. What is PUA? So PUA is a program that came out of the CARES Act. It was primarily for independent contractors or 1099 workers or people that are self-employed, because traditionally people that are self-employed they don't qualify for regular unemployment. So because they started to shut businesses down, they decided to create a program specifically for people that are self-employed. Along with the self-employed, there are other people that can collect PUA benefits, and those are maybe you're a parent and you had to quit your job because you either had COVID, your child had COVID, or maybe your child is home, but daycares are closed or schools are closed. There's like a million, well, maybe not a million, but there's like 10 or so reasons of why you could qualify for PUA. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. It's a brand new program. It's Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. That's what it stands for. So yeah, go. I think I answered your question. Okay. Sean says, I've been on unemployment since July. And am I still going to receive unemployment benefits after December 26th? So that's what it's looking like to me. It depends on the program that you were on, but I'm assuming if you were collecting regular unemployment, then PEUC would be extended for you. So that's what it sounds like to me. But without knowing the specific programs you were on, and not knowing the specifics of the bill, not able to answer that 100%. Crystal says, if I'm on regular UI, will I switch to another program? So you will stay on regular unemployment. And then once you're 26 weeks or however many weeks you get paid in your specific state, because I know some states don't pay 26 weeks, then the next program you should be automatically enrolled in is PEUC, which would then be good for, it was good for 20 weeks, so it should be good for 24 weeks or until mid-March, whatever comes first. Alexander says, I have a question about Texas Workforce Commission. I'm on POA status and was extended past my regular unemployment of 26 weeks in mid-November. Was extended past my regular unemployment. Okay, so yeah, if I'm understanding this correctly, so it sounds like you were on PUA and you've exhausted it in mid-November. Sorry, I'm not quite understanding the question, but so if you did exhaust it mid-November, you should be placed back on it. I'm sure I totally butchered your question, so I do apologize. So today, 6 weeks ago, I was switched from UI to PEUC. Then they dropped the balance of my UI on my card. Not mad, But why? Because they exhausted me. Now in my portal, PUA and PUC are pending. Okay, I'm not sure on that one, Tanae. That is so they gave you the remainder of your balance on your card without you even having to certify for those weeks? If so, that's pretty weird. I don't know. Um, I'm not sure. That is definitely something you wanna contact them about. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to even tackle that one. Brad said, "Good, because meeting medical issues with documents." Oh, good cause. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so you were referring to, that you can refuse work due to for good cause. Yeah, and I'm sure it also means with the medical issues is, maybe there's people running around work, there's no hand sanitizer, there's no mask, they're just, I'm sure there's that too, but I'm sure they're not gonna make it easy to prove, but who knows? Sean says, "I'm from New Jersey and I've been unemployed since July this year of 2020. So hopefully in New Jersey, you probably get 26 weeks of regular unemployment. So when that is exhausted, then you should move on to PEUC. So you should be collecting for a little bit, or actually for a while, because actually, as it stands now, after you receive PEUC and you've exhausted that, then New Jersey does have extended benefits. You would be rolled onto that as long as New Jersey is still offering extended benefits. Lester, I've asked this before. My PEUC ran out. I saw the bill and it says, okay. So you were on PEUC and that ran out. Yeah, Lester, this is a tricky thing, right? Because you ran out of PEUC, and you're right. I did tell you to file for PUA if your state, which I can't remember, but I don't believe your state offered extended benefits. So yeah, that's the progression. You file for PEUC, you exhaust that, then you apply for PUA. Now with this new extension, I'm not sure if you stay on PUA or if you revert back to PEUC. That is kind of our situation, like my personal situation. So unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that, but I will definitely find it because, like I said, it affects me too. So yeah, I'm not sure how that works. So I apologize for that. Darnell says it's 11 weeks. Congress knows that some states won't pass the money out on December 27th. So you basically will get it the day you start and you won't get retro from December 27th. Well, I think that December 27th, I think you're right. I think it is like a state, the state can like December 27th may not be the effective date for all states. That's what I'm trying to say, just having a problem saying it. So yeah, all states in that respect will definitely be different. However, whenever they decide to make it effective, as long as you're approved, as long as you're certifying, even if they don't get their systems updated for a couple of weeks, you would definitely get that retro pay from the effective date of this bill, which would hopefully be around December 27th. Serena's in Texas. I got nothing but zeros, and they investigated my unemployment because someone used my information. Okay, well, that is awful. That is absolutely awful. Yeah, and I wouldn't even know how to tackle that. Yeah, definitely get in touch with someone from the unemployment office because, yeah, you got to get that straightened out. Easier said than done, right? Pony says, what's the 21 days to submit proof for PUA? So the 21 days for PUA was PUA claimants will now be required to provide income documentation within 21 days. So those are brand new people, it sounds like, have to, I guess when they file for the first time, they have to just provide income documentation. Unless you're obviously in the other bucket of you're home with your child or whatever, that's a completely separate situation. However, continuing claimants, if you've made your claim before January 31st, 2021, you have to provide that information within 90 days. So that's what that was all about. Oh, John, how do you apply for the rental assistance? That's a great question. I'm not sure about that. I will definitely look into that. All I know is $25 billion were given to rental assistance. And then they are looking to provide an extension of eviction protection until January 31st. Yeah, I'm not sure on that, and I do apologize. I will definitely find that out. For all of you that are looking into rental assistance, not sure if you guys know. Obviously, most of my brain power is on unemployment and stimulus checks. But if you have, there's a guy, a YouTuber, Meet Kevin. He did a video specifically about rental assistance, where I didn't watch it, but in his other videos, he kind of goes through the bill and kind of talks about it. So you might use that as a resource, because I'm not sure if I would be able to explain it as well as him, but I can try. But yeah, for right now, I'm not sure, but I will definitely look into that for you. Crystal says, if I'm on regular unemployment and I got one payment left, will I switch to another program? Oh, wait. Yeah, Crystal, I think I answered that. Yeah, you would be switched to PEUC. LNM, I exhausted my extended benefits a week ago. Will I get the $300? I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. So you exhausted your extended benefits, and if you are qualifying, if you were able to qualify for either PUA or PEUC, which I'm not sure which way you would go, if you would go back on to PEUC or if you'd have to apply for PUA. But yeah, if you are approved, you would definitely receive the extra $300 a week. Jolene says, I'm on PUA and work as a broadcaster. I didn't get my paperwork, just my bank statement. I guess I'm assuming you're talking about that you'd have to upload documents. Yeah, I'm not sure specifically what they need for income verification. I would think that they probably would need a little bit more than a bank statement. So, but again, I'm not an expert on PUA and income documentation, but so yeah, if you can try to maybe get some kind of something besides a bank statement, that might be best. William, hey fellow PAer, Pennsylvania person. We'll receive the stimulus check on our Bank of America card or in the mail. So stimulus check is definitely different from unemployment. So if the federal government has your checking account or banking information, then they will send it to you through direct deposit. So you could wake up sometime next week and have it in your bank account. If you don't have that set up, then they will send you a check. And in the video that I did this morning, in the description, there is a link, 7 ways that you can get your, hold on, let me see if I can post it here. Yeah, here are like 7 ways that you can get your stimulus check faster, and I'll put it in the chat. It's just like an article. So like if you want to set up direct deposit, You can actually go to this article, and then I think it'll take you to the IRS website. You create an account or log in or whatever, and then you'll be able to put in your direct deposit information, and then you can hopefully just get it through direct deposit. Doug says, if a person exhausts 59 weeks of unemployment, do we get the extra 11 weeks of PEUC? So, yeah, I'm assuming, Doug, that we're kind of in the same situation, which means that you were probably unemployed before this whole pandemic started. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we stay on PUA or if we revert back to PEUC, but I will definitely find out and let you guys know. So Pony says, so I don't need anything if I've been on PUA since August. I can't imagine. I would just be thinking that you would just keep filing until now again, if you are currently on PUA, while you shouldn't have to do anything but keep filing, but because the program does technically expire on Sunday, it is Sunday, right? Saturday, whatever day it does. If you go to file for PUA next week, it may not let you because, again, the system is flagging it as expired. So it may take a couple weeks for the systems to actually update. But if it lets you keep filing, then yeah, definitely keep filing. Timothy says, hey, PA girl, hey. My PUA expires on the 26th. How's that work? So yeah, hopefully, just like I just explained, hopefully it'll be extended. But if the system doesn't allow you to file next week, the reason would be that the system needs to update. Paradise Beast, what's the difference on PUA and PEUC? So both programs were created because of from the CARES Act, and wait, oh my gosh, I'm getting my letters confused. PEUC is an extension of regular unemployment. So if you're W-2 employee, however, PUA is specifically for people that don't qualify for regular unemployment. Hey, Norman, how are you? Erica says, I'm from Michigan. Am I going to get the extra $300 on top of my regular unemployment? So yes, as long as you're collecting any sort of unemployment, you would definitely get that $300. The effective date would be December 27th, thereabouts, depending on the state. However, I wouldn't necessarily expect that money right away because the state's systems have to be programmed to be able to pay that money. So while you would definitely get it for that week, you just may not get it until, maybe after the first week of January or the second week, depending how fast the programmers program the state systems. So Tay, kind of same answer that I just gave Erica. Okay, so Minnie's saying Georgia's telling people to keep filing when you run out also. So yeah, keep filing. Thank you for that. I forget the word I'm trying to say. When I talk too much, I kind of get a little spaced out. Thank you for that confirmation. Oh, in Virginia, we can't keep filing for PUA. Yeah, didn't you guys stop early or something in Virginia? Yeah, I would definitely try to keep filing after the bills pass, like maybe next week, because you never know, maybe if they update the system. But I'm sure before you're able to update, I'm sure the state will probably reach out to everyone. Okay, so Mike O'Brien says Texas says keep filing. Cool. Good to know. And Alabama says, that's awesome. Okay, that's good. That's just confirmation that I'm saying the right thing. So thank you for that confirmation, because I definitely don't want to be saying anything that's wrong. So Denise, same thing. The extra $300 would be effective starting next week. Colleen, thank you. I appreciate it very much. Thanks for being here. And if you guys haven't already liked this video, I would love it if you liked it. I have $800 left on my PEUC extension while I receive it after December 26th. So yeah, I mean, that's what it's looking like. Instead of you getting paid 13 weeks of PEUC, you would then get an extra 11 weeks, which makes it 24. So yeah, you should be getting paid for a while. If I'm PUA, do you need to do anything? No, just keep filing if you can, if the system lets you. Okay, Jacob, I just got my last PEUC today. Will I get the extension or will I get the extended benefits? So, Jacob, if your state, and I'm not sure what state you are in, I can read them if you guys want. I promise I'll be quick because I'm sure you're not the only one. So what happens, so what I read earlier today was if you were either collecting extended benefits, although you're just about to go on it, right? Okay, okay, so you're in a tricky situation because you're kind of kind of halfway in between, right? Okay, so here's the thing. If you're on PEUC and obviously you move to extended benefits. So if you're currently receiving extended benefits now, I read that you stay on extended benefits until that has expired. Then you would move back to PEUC. However, since you literally just ended, I'm assuming if you just got paid, I'm assuming that you would stay on PEUC. Because if it literally just ended and the next week the extension starts, I would think that you would stay on PEUC. But for those of you that are in the middle of collecting for extended benefits, then you would ride that out and then go back to PEUC. At least that's what I read earlier. Edgar says, I have 0 benefits on my extensions. What will I do? So I'm not sure, Edgar, what program you were on, but so yeah, without knowing that's I don't know how to answer that. If you exhausted PEUC, extended benefits, and PUA, then I'm not sure if they would put the person back on a PUA or PEUC. So Edgar, yeah, without knowing the program, I'm not sure, but I think either way, you hopefully would either go get placed back on the PEUC or PUA. But yeah, I'm not sure in that situation because again, like I said earlier, it affects me too. The last hero says, so the PUA won't end on the 26th. You know what? If they vote, they're voting on the bill right now, I think. I haven't heard anything actually. But so yeah, if it's passed, then PUA would end March 14th instead of on the 26th. Joseph said, my PEUC went to 0, so they told me to apply for PUA. Oh, okay. So Joseph's in Oregon. My PEUC went to 0, so they told me to apply for PUA by December 26th. Ignore that, and they will extend my PEUC. Yeah, I would definitely. Well, it depends on when it went to 0, because if your PEUC went to 0, maybe like a couple weeks ago, then you could receive that PUA for a couple weeks. So yeah, but if your PEUC just ended, then I would think that you would just stay on PEUC. Timothy says, why in the world would anything on this planet take 5,500 pages to draw up unless they are trying to populate Mars? right? And then what was funny is they had problems uploading it. They had, like, internet issues or something, or maybe the document was just too flippin' big. Well, and that's the thing, and who has time to read 5,500 pages in a matter of, less than 12 hours, right? Crazy. Jacqueline, when will the $300 start? The effective date should be December 27th. Depending on your state, it would be around December 27th, so next week. Crystal, I think I answered you. You're on regular unemployment. So yeah, after regular unemployment, you would then go on PEUC. Sherry, what about overpayment? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about overpayment. The best thing to do would be to contact the state unemployment customer support, because I'm not sure on that. Mr. Trucker, when would PUA start in Virginia? So if you currently exhausted PUA, then it should start back up next week, December 27th. Will PUA have to do anything to continue claims to get the $300 a week? Nope. You should just continue to claim, and you should receive the extra $300 as well as your regular PUA benefit. Will we receive the stimulus check in our Bank of America cards or mail? I think I just answered that. It'll be the same however you received it last time. And in the chat, I did put an article. There are 7 ways to get your stimulus check faster. Oh, Dominique, you live in New York, haven't gotten the additional $300. Yeah, that won't be effective until next week. So, yeah, so because it starts next week, then unfortunately there's no retro for that. Pony says, what's the 21 days thing? So in case you are new, and if you are on PUA, hold on, I have to find that info. So if you are filing for PUA for the first time, then, sorry. If you are filing for PUA for the first time, you have to provide income documentation within 21 days. However, if you have been on PUA, you have to provide it within 90 days. However, as we all know, there's many different ways that you could collect PUA without having an income. So I guess what they're looking for probably is just some sort of explanation of why you're collecting PUA. My PUA expires on the 26th. How's this going to work? So once the systems are updated, then I'm under the impression you would just file as normal. But if you try to file next week, it may not let you, simply because the state systems aren't updated yet. So I would recommend just keep trying. But the way it should work is eventually you would just continue filing as you normally would, and then it would extend until March 14th. Oh, yeah, Sherry, I was a little confused on that. So I read $300 plus $100 for PUA. Can you explain? Yeah, so this one's kind of new to me, to be honest with you. But supposedly, obviously PUA is primarily for self-employed people. However, if you did receive a W-2 and maybe you didn't make enough to qualify for regular unemployment, so of course, with that, if you can't qualify for regular unemployment, you can apply and hopefully be qualified for PUA. So supposedly, if you are both a W-2 earner as well as you're a freelancer or self-employed, you could get an additional $100 on top of what you're receiving now. So I will look into this further. Like I said, this is the first that I've heard of it when I was doing my research. So yeah, I would definitely get more clarification for you, but hopefully that made sense. Sean says, will I still have my unemployment benefits? Yeah, Sean. So I don't know what program you're on, but PUC and PUA should be extending out till March 14th. And so for PUA, instead of you getting paid for 39 weeks, you would now get paid for 50 weeks. And for the regular unemployment side, if you've exhausted your extended benefits, my hope is that those people would get put back onto PEUC. But again, until we get the details from the federal government, I'm not 100% sure on that. So Deja says, is the additional weeks on top of the weeks that you're currently on? So yes. So PUA, for example, only pays for 39 weeks. So right now, with this new bill, PUA would then be extended to 50 weeks. PEUC is 13 weeks. And again, that could vary depending on your state. But now they're tacking on, excuse me, an additional 11 weeks on top of the 13, which would make it 24. So those are the additional weeks. Sorry. Okay, so Timothy's saying, New York Times is saying that the extra $300 would start next week, the week of the 26th. So thank you for that confirmation. Amy says, hope you're having a good day. I am, thank you. I still have 3 weeks on my PEUC, so they're going to extend it. So yeah, what I would think would happen in your situation is, yeah, they would totally extend it. So it looks like you could be getting paid. They would extend it until March 14th, which is kind of cool. So hopefully you won't have any interruption in benefits. Although you might, because they'll have to update the system first. When will I get my extra 300? That is effective next week. Oh, good question. Oh, shoot. Double D, I think it was, asked about the double dipping. So there was a thing, and I totally lost my place in chat, and I apologize. So there was a thing. Oh my goodness. Sorry, chat is flagging some comments, and I just want to make sure that it's not because it's inappropriate stuff. Okay. So double dipping. So there was a thing, actually, the past couple of days, that if you are collecting unemployment, therefore collecting the extra $300 a week, would you qualify for a stimulus check? The answer to that is yes. You would get both the extra $300 a week and a stimulus check. I think I am so behind on chat that it wiped out some of the chats because I'm up at the top and I can't. So yeah, I apologize. If I missed your question, I'm not able to go to where I was, so I do apologize. So I'm just going to start at the top of the chats that I can answer or that I can actually see. Snoo, good question. Do you have info on back payments? I still haven't got my back pay from April. Is it too late? So great question. If you're qualified and approved to receive any sort of unemployment, even though you haven't gotten paid yet, you will definitely get that payment. You're definitely entitled to that payment. You'll get it eventually. It's just a matter of obviously we know how long this thing could take, but yeah, you're definitely entitled to that money, and you will definitely get it. Will those on Fed Ed be changed to PEUC after the 26th? Thank you. I hope you have a great Christmas too. So if you're on Fed Ed, which is the same as extended benefits, from my understanding and what I read earlier today, if you're on Fed Ed or extended benefits, you would ride that out. You would carry that out until it's exhausted and then be placed back on to PEUC until March 14th. So great question. Gordon says, I was laid off. When called back, my doctor said, don't go. I have health issues. I sent the letter from the doctor. Could I get PUA? You could definitely try. If you have a doctor's note, I would definitely try. I mean, obviously you were laid off too. So, yeah, I would definitely, when you go to apply for PUA, I would definitely upload the doctor's note. Did the bill pass? No, the House was voting on it as soon as I popped on here, but I haven't heard anything since. And I have like MSN popping up here on the side here to see if I can see any news. And I do have one of my friends on the lookout as well. Rob says, if I exhausted my extended benefits 2 weeks ago on the program, runs out December 26th, will I get the $300 extension? Yeah, so if you exhausted your extended benefits, I'm assuming that you would get placed back onto PEUC. And then as long as you are on any unemployment program, then you would definitely collect the extra $300. Lene, what did I say about gotta make $300? The $300, I believe, I have to think, was just referring to the extra federal boost that you would get if you were on any kind of unemployment. So the $300 would be on top of what you're collecting for unemployment. Yeah, Timothy says, thank our useless government for bringing this down to the last day. Yep. To even makes things more messed up. Way to go, Nancy. And yeah, I know. Isn't it ridiculous? Sorry, I'm looking at the headlines, and it said something about the past, but they're talking about the $1.4 billion package to prevent the government to shut down. But anyway, sorry. 22DL Peterson. Do you have to verify your identity when you've already received PUA? It might depend on the state. In Pennsylvania, I don't think, obviously, I'm not sure what state you're in. I think it would just depend on the state. I would definitely be prepared to do that. Even if it's just like a driver's license or whatever, but I'm not sure. Rhonda says, if my child was 16, but when I did my taxes, will I get? Oh, you know what, Rhonda? That's a great question. So you're talking about the stimulus check because, as I mentioned earlier, adult dependents age 17 and up will not receive a check. Yeah, I wonder when they would. That's a great question. I wonder if they're counting the child's age now or I'm not sure. Because my child is 17 now, but I got a check from him from the CARES Act. That's a good question. You got me stumped. Hold on, let me copy that question down. Rhonda, I have to look into that. Rob says, still certify. Yep, if the system lets you, definitely. Can this go till past March? So, Elaine, this specific bill, no, it won't go past March. However, From what they say, Biden is saying this is a down payment, so I'm assuming that they would, at least they're saying that they will pass something else next year. What about those whose Fed Ed EB gets cut off on the 26th? So, yeah, I would assume that you would just revert back to PEUC. Anything auto. So if they pass the bill, my wife and I would have to apply for the extension. I don't think it all. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm hoping that if you were recently on a program, even if it just exhausted or it expired or you ran out of benefits, even just a couple weeks ago, I'm hoping that we don't have to apply for it. I can't imagine that we would have to apply for it. So I'm not quite sure how that would work if, like I said, if you exhausted benefits, maybe a couple weeks ago. But if you're currently receiving, then no, I can't imagine that you would even have to apply for it. Hopefully you could just keep filing. Oh, Cheryl, yeah. Nancy Pelosi kept saying, yeah, we're going to give you retro. Then all of a sudden they don't. Yeah, and I guess that's just part of the bargaining. Obviously, I'm not justifying it by any means because that $600 would sure come in handy, right? Hopefully she's backing down because we'll have a bigger and better package. And who knows, maybe in the next package, they could put in the retro from, was it September to December? I don't know. When will PUA see the first payment? It all depends on when the states update their systems with this new information. Yeah, Rhonda, I reread your question. Yeah, my son was in the same situation, meaning he was 16 when I filed and then 17 now. Again, I'll look into that for you because I'm not sure. Extra $300. Oh, anything auto. Thank you. Anything auto replied, you should receive it if she was 16 when you filed. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Anything auto, I appreciate that. John, does the extension reboost claim balance? Yeah, I would imagine that it would. But again, it's probably going to take some time before the systems update. Patricia, thank you. I appreciate it. She says, hi, Kim and community. That's all of you. Thank you for researching and explaining. Yeah, and you guys saved me, just like anything auto. So thank you. Especially after talking for over an hour. My brain's a little fried right now. Tony says, if my unemployment ends December 26th of December, do I still file my claim just like I normally would? Yeah, absolutely. If the system lets you, from what multiple people have been saying, definitely keep on filing. Krisha, they are voting on it as we speak. It should be in the House right now. Did I read these? Okay. Hold on, I think I already answered that one. Okay, Timothy's saying you can challenge an overpayment because there was a chat about an overpayment that I couldn't answer. You can challenge an overpayment if they want it back, and it might be forgiven. I heard that today Nancy says to challenge it with your state. Cool. Thank you for that information because I knew nothing about overpayments. Sorry, I'm just kind of breezing through here to answer something that maybe I haven't answered yet. Elaine says, if on PUA, I hear there are new rules at the end of January. I haven't heard of anything different. So it should be the same as what you're currently used to? Oh, Rhonda, okay. So you filed your 2019 taxes after receiving your first stimulus check. Will the IRS use my refund account? Yeah, they should. They should definitely use that. I would imagine, but just to be safe, what you can do is go to the IRS website and log in and just make sure that they have your information, which obviously they do now. So, but maybe just to double check, but I would assume that you would get a direct deposit of the stimulus. Diana says, did they say a certain amount you have to make to receive the boost? Yeah, it's that $100. So this morning I had read, wait, I think someone clarified it here. So you can tell my brain's getting a little foggy here. So I apologize. Um, if you actually, Brad, I think it was Brad correct or confirmed that we believe that if you make $99 or less, you would not qualify for the extra $300 weekly boost. Ian says, what happens if you're on PEUC after the 26th? Keep filing, and PEUC would then be extended to March 14th. But you should stay on PEUC. Yeah, anything auto. So if you guys are in the position where you have to prove your identity, some states are requiring you to take a selfie with your driver's license or social security card. That I didn't know. I thought it was just a matter of uploading your driver's license, but I guess a selfie would, that's crazy. And that, I mean, it's a shame. Barbara, do I have to reapply for my unemployment again? You're on PUC, but it expired or ran out the 1st of December. So, great question. If your state offers extended benefits, then you would be placed on extended benefits. However, if it doesn't, then my thinking is PEUC would start back up for you next week, December 27th or thereabouts. Will my stimulus come through PUA? No, it's totally different. PUA is unemployment and stimulus is totally different. If you want to receive your stimulus check by direct deposit, you can log on to the IRS website. And then the chat, I did paste an article. Actually, I could paste it again. Oh, wait, that's not what I want. Where is the article? I'll paste an article. There are like 7 ways that you can get your stimulus check faster. So hopefully that helps someone. Serena, can anyone specify if I'll start receiving my POA? I had a hold on my POA because identity theft and they called and fixed it. So yeah, hopefully if they fixed it, then they should be releasing your funds soon, I would hope. So I think I answered this already, but if you are currently on extended benefits or Fed Ed for your specific state, you would finish that out. Then you would be placed on PEUC. Dan the Reaper, you've PUA. So you'll have $2,000 left in your PUA. If extended for the 11 weeks, will you get the 11 weeks plus the extra 2,000? I think you would just get the 11 weeks because the 11 weeks would bring the claim out to March 14th, which it expires. So I don't think that you would be seeing that $2,000. I could be totally wrong, but that would be my thinking. Kay says, sure gonna miss you when this is finally over. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I have a feeling I think that they're gonna pass another bill. Yeah, so the question is, what do I do with this channel? I don't know. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm definitely gonna keep the channel going. I have some ideas that actually might help some of you. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I might change the name of the channel, but, don't worry, and I'll give you plenty notice after I change the name. But, yeah, I think there's gonna be another package anyway. And I'm sure for the next couple weeks, we'll still be answering questions. But don't worry, I won't be going anywhere. But I do appreciate the comment. Bardo, I received an email today saying my benefits have ended. I'm on PUA. Yeah, you'll totally get the extra $300 when you get placed back onto PUA or when the system updates. The states update their systems. I keep saying that wrong. So you'll be able to get that extra boost effective next week. Lester says, I make $84 a week more than $300 a month on my state. Yeah, Lester, as long as you qualify for you make $84 a week more than $300 a month. Okay, so Lester, are you saying that you make $84 a week and that's it? If so, I don't believe that you would receive the $300 boost. Vernon says, I never got PUA. I just got approved for August up till now. How does that work? Because they're not doing back pay. Oh, no, they should. No, if you were approved back from August, you should totally get paid. Armando, I still have 11 weeks left on the PUA. What's going to happen? So it would just be extended until March 14th. Unfortunately, you probably won't be able to utilize those 11 weeks, but at least it doesn't expire this week. Anything auto, you called in and someone else helped us reapply, and now my wife's account is blank. Oh boy. Running out before the bill's passed, I feel it's going to be a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my gosh. Hopefully, could it be possible that it's maybe like a system glitch? I know there are times that I've been logging in and all of a sudden, I wouldn't be able to log in, or it would say that my Social Security number doesn't exist or something. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Hopefully it's a system glitch, but yeah, definitely call unemployment. Wiley wants to know if Ohio has extended benefits. Great question. I believe it does, but let me just double check. Yes, Ohio has 13 weeks of extended benefits. What about Massachusetts PUA? So no matter what state you're in, PUA is looking to be extended until March 14th, as well as PEUC. Okay, Ian, great question. I have 7 weeks of PEUC, but I'm not sure what's going to happen after the 26th. So you would stay on PEUC up until March 14th. James, yes, the $300 extension does look like it would start the week of December 27th. The states could differ depending on the specific day, but it would definitely be next week per the bill. Alan says my UI says that I have 4 weeks left of the extension. Is that the extended benefit or PEUC? If it's extended benefits, then you would carry that out until it's exhausted, and then you would then get placed back onto PEUC. Hold on, I want to see. Oh, okay. I thought I sorry, I'm losing my voice. I thought I saw something flash about the bill getting passed, but it wasn't. Wishful thinking, I guess. You guys are awesome for helping each other out. I do appreciate it. So Sandy wants to know, does the bill affect Fed Ed? So I'm assuming, Sandy, you live in California. So whether you're on Fed Ed or regular, or I should say Fed Ed or extended benefits. So extended benefits and Fed Ed are the same thing, except California calls it Fed Ed. So now explaining that, I don't even know what your question was because I totally forgot it. Okay, how does the bill effective? So whether you're on extended benefits or Fed Ed, you would ride that out until that expires. Then you would go back onto PEUC. That was my understanding from today. I live in New York. Do you know when the unemployment boost would hit my bank account? So, Jose, it all depends on when the states update their systems. So, I heard average maybe 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how prepared your state is. Hopefully, they're, they saw this coming, right? So, hopefully, they're kind of prepared to get this fixed. Bardo, yeah, you should totally get the boost. Since POA will be extending with the new bill as long as they pass it. So yeah, you should totally get it. Dougie, yeah, you're from Mass, and POA, as we know, expires on the 26th. Starting next week, you should receive the extra $300 on top of your regular PUA payment. However, like I said, like I've been saying, the state's systems might take a couple weeks to update that. So you may not see this money next week. It might be a couple weeks. When do they send out the stimulus check? Chris asked. So great question. If the IRS has your bank account and they would send the check by direct deposit, then you could receive it next week. However, if they don't have that information and they send a check, then it could be the following week. So not next week, but the following week. I did put in the chat a couple times an article. There are like 7 ways that you could speed up receiving your check. One of them is going to the IRS website and updating your bank information so they can just send it to you by direct deposit. Do I know anything about Maryland unemployment? So PEUC and PUA are looking to extend it to March 14th. I'm not sure what program you're specifically talking about. So that those 2 programs are looking to get extended. And oh, that's right. Maryland doesn't have extended benefits, do they? No. So in that respect, that's all I have for you. I was going to add on to something, but it's not relevant to Maryland. So that's it. That's all I have for Maryland. Unfortunately, Dell, this is not retroactive. So Tara, so the $300, it would be effective starting the week of the 27th. However, until the states get their systems updated, we may not see the extra $300 as well as the PUA payment because they also have to update that part of the system too. We may not see that until the first week or 2 in January, which I know is awful. So I have Lionel. I have a balance in my PEUC. Will I receive it after December 26th? Yes, you would. So yeah, Wiley, yes, Ohio is looking to extend PUA, and this PUA and PUC, this bill would cover extension for both programs in every single state. Um, Jam Jamise, I wouldn't worry about if you're currently on a program, I wouldn't worry about reapplying right now until we get the details of the bill. Obviously, I don't know your situation. Um, but if you're currently on a program or you just exhausted anything, I wouldn't apply right away unless maybe your regular unemployment claim has expired. Then you might be able to qualify for regular unemployment all over again, kind of start the cycle all over again. But if you just exhausted like PUC, PUA, I wouldn't apply for anything right now. Patrice, I'm in Texas as well. My PUC payment says 0, but it says I've the funds, but I'm not getting anything. Yeah, definitely continue to file and see what happens. If your balance is 0, I don't it doesn't sound like you would get anything in the past, but it definitely doesn't hurt, right? Just in case maybe they one day they would retro it. So Brittany wants to know, do you have to make $100 weekly to get the $300? So I believe, um, yes, I believe you do have to make at least $100 or more than $100 to receive the extra 300, just like the LWA. When will the unemployment boost in Maryland be active? It all depends on when they update their systems, unfortunately. So if you have a PUA or PEUC balance of 0, then you should be able to restart next week. Now, if you try to file, I encourage everyone to go file, but in the event that the system doesn't take your filing, it's just because they have to reprogram it. But I would definitely try to file as quickly as you can. And we'll go for a couple more minutes and then we'll end the oh, and I haven't said this, but I do go live Monday through Friday, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because obviously we are going to have a lot of questions. So I will definitely be here. So if I don't cover your question, I do apologize. Obviously, this chat has gone crazy, which is great, but obviously it's hard for me to keep up with. um, if the bill passes, the packages would start next week, including the $300 uh, weekly boost. Oh, Kay says rental assistance is going to be handled by each state. Okay, thank you for that clarification. Good to know. And definitely look at your states, like your state website, as well as maybe a county website. But if I recall, it might be something that you would apply for, but I'm not 100% sure I'm not 100% sure on the details. So Brandon wants to know, what if you were laid off in March? Would you still have the 90 days to give them the payment document? Oh, yeah. If you were late, so you're talking about PUA. Yeah, you have 90 days to give them payment documents. But if you are brand new to filing for PUA, then you only have, 21 days. So yeah, you have plenty of time. Heath wants to know that if you exhausted unemployment and extended benefits, you would then be placed back onto PEUC as long as you exhausted your extended benefits. Maderick wants to know, can you apply for the $10,000 grant if you haven't received a full amount? I'm not sure what that is. Is that for PPP money? I'm not entirely up on the whole PPP thing, so I'm not sure, and I apologize for that. Dante wants to know, I exhausted my PUA. Will I automatically get an extension? I would imagine that you would. If you exhausted your PUA maybe a couple weeks ago, it's not going to be retroed a couple of weeks ago, but it would be back into an active status starting next week. And obviously, disclaimer, I can't guarantee that anyone would receive anything. Obviously, it all depends on the state. So I just want to put that blanket disclaimer out there. Yeah, Eddie says you're missing questions. Yeah, my chat, I think it was so full that when I scroll down sometimes it like really jumps to the bottom, and then I was scrolling back up and then I couldn't go any further. So I do apologize if I missed your question. Sorry, I'm just reading through to see. Hi, Roy from PA. How are you? Oh, anything auto. You're in Louisiana. Okay. I'm so sorry you have that issue, but I do appreciate your help with the chat. So, Chris, when will the $300 begin in Georgia? So it would be effective starting next week for any state. P. Alvarez, I'm from Philly, and my vet benefits now zero. So if they give out the extra $300, how would I get it? Or will I have to sign up for another program? So P. Alvarez, it depends on the program that you're currently on. However, I'm assuming it's either PEUC or PUA, right? Or maybe you already exhausted extended benefits. So, you know what? You might be in the same position as me, whereas you exhausted your extended benefits, and it's like, okay, well, do I go back to PEUC or do I go to PUA? But regardless, I will definitely find that answer out for you. But yeah, you should qualify for another program as well as get that extra $300. So unfortunately, I'm not sure which program you would qualify for. Because like I said, I'm in the same boat and I'm not quite sure. No, you shouldn't need to apply for the PUA extension if you're currently on it. However, disclaimer, states might make you apply for it. I can't imagine that they would, but who knows? Yes, Timothy says, Stephen Mnuchin just said on the news that the $600 will go out next week to everyone that's in the IRS database, so your bank account. Thank you for that information. So yeah, if you guys want to set up your direct deposit information, you could definitely do that on the IRS website. So I live in Iowa, and at this point I get $200, but with the extra money, how much would I get? So if you get $200 a week now, with the extra boost of $300, you would then get $500 per week. Share, they're reviewing your claim. Yeah, that's the worst because it's like it could take a day or it can take 5 months, right? Absolutely awful. Heath, my state UI and extended benefits exhausted in August or October. Does the 11-week extension apply? Yeah, that's my question too. Although because you ran out of extended benefits in October, you could try to apply for PUA from the date that you ran out of extended benefits in October to December 26th. You could at least try to qualify for PUA. But then after that, I'm not sure if you would, like I was saying to whoever it was, sorry, I apologize that I forgot the name. And again, my situation, I'm not sure if you would then go back to PEUC or PUA, but you should be able to qualify for something. Yeah, anything auto. It's like the government just wants to people to have to fight for and stress over getting relief. Yeah, they have no idea what this is doing, and they're gonna be like, "Yeah, victory, yeah," with their champagne glasses, and we're just gonna be like, "You have no idea." Doug says his 6,000 page bill is garbage. The experts are saying it may not pass. Oh my god. Ah. Oh my god. Cher saying, "I'm about to lose my vehicle. All my utilities are facing shut off, and I'm supposed to wait." I know. Any suggestions to make it go through? Definitely look into your maybe like additional state benefits, like aside from unemployment. See what your state offers, maybe at the county level as well as the state level, and see if they would be able to provide any sort of assistance for you, whether it's like paying utility bill and stuff like that. Um, At least that's what they were doing in Pennsylvania now. They're going over specific programs and people could be able to, um, use while people wait. Uh, New York extended benefits. Okay, so if you are currently on extended benefits, you would actually stay on extended benefits. This is Sylvia. Um, However, if you are on PEUC, then you would stay on PEUC. But if you're currently on extended benefits, you want to, at least what I was told earlier, you're going to stay on extended benefits until your balance for that is zero. Then you would be placed on PEUC. My PUA balance is zero. Would the extension happen automatically? I want to say yes, but it could depend on when you ran out of your claim. I can't imagine. I'm assuming it's probably recent. I can't imagine that they would want you to reapply, but each state could be different. So hopefully you won't need to do anything. Sonny, does anyone know why a 17-year-old are disqualified? My daughter is still in school and does not work. We cannot get stimulus for her. Seems odd. Right? That's what I'm saying. And even any college kid, because technically they're still a dependent, right? But I think it was Anything Auto was saying that it might depend on the age of your child when you filed or you did your taxes. So hopefully they'll take that age into consideration. Unless your child was 17 then that wouldn't help you. But yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense. What's Pony wants to know what's up with the income documentation. So if you're currently receiving PUA, and the states might be different. Well, I guess the states would have to comply with this since it is in the bill. But if you're on PUA and you've been on PUA, then you have 90 days to submit income documentation. However, if you are new to applying for PUA, then you only have, did I get that wrong? Yeah, 90 days. If you're already on PUA, then you only have 21 days if you are new applying for PUA. Wait, I think I already answered that. So yeah, Lisa, if you're on regular unemployment, now you're on extended benefits, and that ends January 13th, then yeah, you should then go back onto PEUC. Dante, if you already exhausted your PUA, wait, hold on, I just lost my spot here. If you already exhausted your PUA, then I would hope, number one, keep filing. And you may not be able to file since you have a zero balance left, but hopefully once the states update their systems, we'll be able to see that like a brand new balance, and then you'll be able to continue filing. And I would hope that they wouldn't make people reapply, but who knows? PUA Kansas, why does a claim status stay disqualified and no non-monetary? I'm not sure. You'll have to reach out to the customer service department of unemployment because I'm not sure about that one. Oh, anything auto. Louisiana, you have to refile. It will not allow, so you have to reapply. It will not allow you to refile after your claim balance runs out. See, and I think that's what's so hard is every state might be different. Do people who owe child support get a stimulus check? So it looks like that they will be garnishing stimulus checks for child support. Heath wants to know, exhausted 39 weeks in October. Oh, wait, did I just answer that? So if you exhausted unemployment and extended benefits, then you should be placed back. Well, see, this is a tricky one because if you've exhausted, did I already answer this? Well, I'll just answer it again anyway. If you exhausted extended benefits, then you could apply and qualify for PUA if you exhausted your extended benefits several weeks ago or months ago. Now the question is, I don't know if those people would qualify for PEUC or PUA. That's a question that I'm not sure of. We should have 256 likes in this chat. Maurice, thank you. So yeah, if you haven't had a chance to like this video, that'd be awesome if you would. I'm from Maryland. My last payment for PEUC is tomorrow. Would I still get the extension and $300 boost? So yes, you should, effective next week, you should be extended as well as receive the extra $300. However, you may not be able to systematically apply just because the state systems have to update, and they may need some time to get that done. Yeah, I agree. Big A's. I love the name. Best thing to do is visit the unemployment department's website of your state and get the information or call them. Breezy, you are amazing. And thank you for all the comments on my videos and chats. All the stress you provide stability for me to deal with this depression. And I thank you. I know it's not an easy time. It really is not, especially this time of year, right? Where we're all cooped up and it's winter. It gets dark so early. Oh, it's horrible. So thank you. My money, Amanda says, my money didn't go on my car today. And I'm in South Carolina and I was on regular unemployment. Yeah, the best thing to do is contact them. I know it's probably not easy. John says, that's the extra week's Reboost claim balance. I think I answered that. So if you have a balance of 0, and sorry if I'm reading this wrong, but if you have a balance of 0, I'm assuming with the extension, they would then tack on 11 times whatever your weekly amount is, and then that would be your new balance. So, Danta, is there an increase in PA? So it looks like that if the bill passes, PUA would be extended till March 14th. Anyone on any kind of unemployment program making $100 or more would receive $300 on top of your weekly state benefits. So I'm going to give this a couple more. I'll go on for another 5-10 minutes, and then we can continue this fun tomorrow. But yeah, sorry if I didn't get to your question. Obviously, they're just coming through, which is good because then I don't have to think of anything to say. Oh, my friend just texted me. The bill passed in the House. So that's celebration. Hold on. I want to thank her for telling me. So now we have to wait for it to pass in the Senate, and the president has to sign it. Yes. So if you were receiving $200 a week in unemployment, you should be getting $500 a week. So the $200 plus 300 equals 500. So you are correct. So Aaron, what happens if we used all of our PEUC payments? Do we get more? So depending on the state that you're in, if you've exhausted your PEUC and your state does participate or does have the extended benefits program turned on, then you would switch to extended benefits and ride that out. So most states offer 13 weeks of extended benefits. And so after those 13 weeks, then you would get placed back onto PEUC. But I guess if your state does offer 13 weeks of extended benefits, you wouldn't go back onto PEUC because PEUC would expire by then. Rigo says, I'm on PUA, and in California, unemployment automatically enrolls us into what's available. Well, that makes life easy, doesn't it? California's on the ball. Pony says, I have $4,000 in my PUA balance and says I have a claim ready on 1/27. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe 12/27, did you maybe mean to say? Yeah, definitely try to apply next week and just see what happens. The extra $300 would be effective starting next week. And the 21 days for PUA is if you are new to filing PUA, then you have to upload documentation within 21 days. If you've been filing for PUA, then you would have to upload income documentation in 90 days. However, obviously, if you're home with your kid and you don't have an income, then you're not going to have an income to even provide. So I'm sure that obviously there's some caveats to that. Unfortunately, it is not retroactive. Unemployment people will get a stimulus check. Rigo, right? There's no cliff notes on the bill. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, I'll have to at least go through the unemployment section, but there's no way I'm going through all that. Sorry, guys. My brain is just about fried. So I'm going to end it here because I have a feeling if I keep on going, I'm going to start twisting my words. And yeah. So if I haven't answered your question, I do apologize. Like I said, I do go live Monday through Friday, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you haven't already, definitely like this video. And of course, subscribe, right? But seriously, thank you for being here. And I will see you all tomorrow night.